Boom shakalaka. Again, I got some people that just joined the call. If you don't know me, my name is BBURRELL. I go by BBURRELL. My passion is music. Y'all see this big, beautiful keyboard here. This room is changing into a studio. Learned how to trade back in 2017. Grasped the skill set in beginning of 2018 and became a beast in 2019. Became a professional in the end of 2019. All right. So if you want to know the differences in that, I can explain that, but we're going to get right into it. So this call is to give you guys just a quick Q&A. A lot of people don't have that personal interaction to, Q&A to ask people different questions about trading in the markets. What I have here is not a strategy. It's not something special. I don't use indicators. I don't know candlestick patterns. It's very, very simple. I just basically was able to identify a rhythm inside of the foreign exchange markets. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it really, really surprised me because a lot of institutional traders, a lot of different educators, they have complicated trading so much that it's almost like they're doing it on purpose. And when I learned this skill and I began to teach thousands and thousands of people, I realized the simplicity behind trading. And it was almost like if you guys know Earl Nightingale, and he has this voice, this recording called The Strangest Secret. And it's what you become what you think about. And I feel like DAEDAEKEYKEY is the strangest secret when it comes to day trading, because everybody already sees it. They just don't know that they see it. And they don't realize that that's all trading is. Now, you have, of course, this may not be something that you may want to use, but I was telling people to be open-minded. Whether you use it or not, you're technically already using it because it's just what the markets are already providing. I don't add anything to the market. Every time you open up a naked chart, there you're already seeing DDKK. You just don't realize the scenario, the concept that's going on behind that. As I bring up the charts, does anybody have any questions that they would like to? Both of my profiles are logged in. Okay, the video. Okay, you guys can drop it in the public chat. If you have any questions that you would like to ask before I get started, go ahead and drop those in the chat. Please remember, I don't do the indicators. I don't do candlestick patterns, but you can ask me about technicals, emotional intelligence, money management, investing, and stuff like that. Or any personal questions, my journey, etc., stuff like that. So I'm gonna pull up the computer. It's good to see some of y'all. I see some familiar faces and names. Pray that everybody's doing well. All right, let's get it. All right, nobody, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat along the way. And let me know. If you dropped this question, drop it again because the chat has new responses in it and it probably has pushed up and I don't see it. So if you have any questions that I missed, please drop it in the chat and let's rock and roll. Don't be a stranger. I'm cool. I ain't bougie, none of that. I'm the coolest person you ever meet. Let me know what you got. All right. So one thing I want to review. Oh, let me go to my little trainer. The question is how you figure you're ready to go full time when you have time after. That's very, very simple. The first question you want to ask yourself is, what is your definition of full time? TK, drop that in the chat. I'm good at multitasking, so I can talk to you while I do this. What's your definition of full time? And then as TK, are you male or woman? Because I'm yes. DDKK is your structure. Okay, great. So y'all give me 3 minutes to answer this question and we're going to move on to Miss TK. So TK, day trading is not a full-time. Okay, let me put it this way. The way I trade is not something that requires your full-time attention, okay? A lot of people, when they say they want to be full-time traders, their concept is that they leave their job and they're just trading behind a computer all day. I personally trade for my cell phone. I've been trading for my phone for 3 years now. I teach on a computer, but this isn't something that became a job. I didn't come into trading before it become a job. So it's not necessarily when did you know, it's actually preparing to do it. Does that make sense? You don't say, when do you know, you prepare to do it. So I have a YouTube video and I'll drop that playlist here shortly about budgeting and allocation. People get into day trading because of course we all want the free life and see how quickly we can make profits. If you felt really like crazy when you made your first profit, drop some ones in the chat box. Like you was like, holy crap, bump work. I ain't never got to work a job in my life for the rest of my life, right? So if you ever felt that way, drop a 1, because that's definitely how I felt. So when it comes to day trading, you have to understand first your personal philosophy on money, okay? Your personal philosophy on money. Definitely read The Richest Man in Babylon and read Science of Getting Rich. The first thing is this: do I have 6 to 12 months of my cost of living saved up? My expenses are $3,500 a month. So you have to ask yourself, do you have $40,000 saved up? If the answer is no, then that's what you got work to do. At least 20,000, right? So my cost of living alone is per year is 40K. The next question you have to ask yourself is, how many outstanding loans, consumer debt, et cetera, how much of that do you have remaining? You don't think about going full-time until you don't owe anybody any money. Does that make sense? So you leverage it I leverage day trading for more so investing. So you want to understand, do I have 6 to 12 months of my lifestyle saved up? Because when you make any type of transition or any emergency happen in your life, you don't want to simply rely on day trading. I'm going to review that on today. Secondly, does my income, you always want to have a stable income source. Day trading can't be something you don't want to solely rely on it. You can make a lot of money in it, right? Even when you have $100,000 portfolio, you can make a lot of money in it. But right now, for instance, I send signals to over 100 people every single month. And February is what's the start? March, because I launched in February, March, April. Stats was insane. I mean, I went like 8-1, 7-1, 5-1. It's amazing. Every single week, set it up to between 6 to 8 trades a week and only losing no more than 1 trade per week. Now we're in the month of, we just got out of May. That's when the markets began to slow down. So I didn't even place a single trade last week because I didn't like the markets at all last week. So if that is my sole income and I didn't place a trade last week, what type of situation would they put the average person in when they don't have any savings, when they don't put themselves in a position to prepare for those markets? People think just because the markets are open, there's always opportunities. And that's not the truth. You have to understand the first and third quarter of the year are the most profitable, if you will, the most trending. And then the second and fourth quarter of the year, the markets are very, very slow to where, like, for instance, I just got stopped out of this position. I've been sitting in for 3 weeks. It's been sitting at it's been sitting between $2,500 and $3,000 for 3 weeks. Now, if I put that into a NAS 100, I can clear 20K within an hour. But understand that trade has been sitting idle for 3 weeks. It has not moved. And I purposely left it there to see when I can get some momentum back in the markets. But it just spiked up something news or something, and it just stopped me out of profit. But you have to understand the markets aren't always moving. But when it comes back down to your personal philosophy and your money management, that's when you have to prepare for the transition. So having money saved up, making sure you have other sources of income, and making sure your income my personal goal is always making sure my income, what I pay myself is at least 4 times my cost of living, right? So you want to be making sure if you got your bills of $2,500 a month, you need your income to be at least, $10K a month, all right? And if you're not bringing in 10K, go for double, at least $5,000 a month. And that's consistently. So when you're day trading, you understand that you're not supposed to have any emotions. You're not supposed to be all emotionally involved with money. Like when it comes to money in general, people are so emotionally attached to money. And that's why they're crippled when it comes to trading or investing, because money controls them. They don't control the money. So when it comes to deciding, do I want to become a full-time trader? I personally spend less than 10 minutes a day on the charts. Trading is not a full-time vehicle. The money is the full-time vehicle, right? That's the purpose of getting to it. So you're not, you got so much time freedom. I was in a space earlier this year and I was like, bro, I am bored. Like I need something to do, because once I stopped building a marketing company, the more my time was I was able to walk back into my time freedom. So now I'm building like 3 or 4 different businesses right now. Why? Because I'm like, okay, I need something to do. So, but does that make sense, TK? It's not necessarily what would day trading do for me. It's my philosophy when it comes to money management and preparation. So we went from sending crazy signals Monday to March and April to I didn't send it. We went 3-0 the week before. I didn't send any signals last week. I sent a trade today, but the market has been sitting in the same spot all day. So the markets are very, very slow. And remember, even when you got $100,000 to $500,000 portfolio, and depending on how you acquire that capital, whether you did a prop firm or whether it's your own income, you still have to be mindful of how much you're investing you can have a $20,000 day, but you're not going to pull out the whole 20K, because you still have to understand there's taxes involved. You also have to understand you don't pay when you understand truly investing as well. We'll say like the middle class, a lot of the middle class, they'll make, let's say somebody makes $200,000 a year. Instead of paying themselves just 50,000 of it and having a lifestyle off of $50,000 to $60,000 a year, they're paying themselves the whole 200K instead of investing 150K into assets that would bring them back more money. And then ultimately they can allocate that money into places where you're not taxed. So it's really knowing the game and really understanding. You just don't want cash on your hand. You don't want just cash on hand. That's not true wealth. True wealth is taking your trading money, your active income, your job income, your business income, and last but not least, allocating that income into, you go into a partnership with a friend of yours and you guys buy a real estate, condos or apartments or Airbnbs, and that money is paying you. You want to take your active income, invest it into passive income streams, allow your passive income streams to take care of your lifestyle. So I know that was a mouthful, but I want to give you the big picture. So that way you can actually prepare for that transition and not be like, okay, I was able to start day trading. I did good in May, and then the markets are slow in June, and then you got to go back to work. So I wanted to make sure you understood the whole entire picture. And that is a quick summary. All right. So that's the entire picture. But the quicker you get educated, it's really simple. It really blows my mind how easy it is to actually build wealth. But because most people aren't disciplined enough to, what in the world is it? Oh no. Most people aren't, they probably don't know the basic principles, or they're just not disciplined. They'll keep missing it, right? So you can make a lot of money. That's cool, but it's what you do with the money. It's allocation. Whew, mouthful. All right, good deal. But I got 2 videos on YouTube. It's called Budgeting, and it really kind of breaks it down even further than that. So once you understand those principles and that philosophy, I mean, you can be good. If people started at 16, 18 years old, 10 years straight, worked a job and allocated to straight assets, they can be retired by age of 25, 30 years old. But most people don't know that. And we work hard. So master allocation and your life will change forever. Okay, so let's hop on these markets. Excellent question, by the way. Anybody else have any questions? Welcome to the Data and Kiki Water Minute. Oh, okay. The Data and Kiki training, again, with myself, BBURRELL. For those of you know, I have a signals channel where I send trades. There's a welcome message that breaks everything down. It's pretty simple. You copy and paste. I don't do a lot of interaction because it's for you to copy, paste, and profit. The interaction takes place on this call or when I finish the academy. So I do overviews to show people what I was looking at, or if there was we secured a risk goal, I break down that I did have great confirmations and that you can't catch them all, right? So it's a very, very, I like it because not just for the signals, but because it's actually a space of a lot of learning. I didn't realize how much teaching I was kind of doing unconsciously in there. So those overview videos really would change the game. So with that, you guys, it's very, very simple. Again, you can check out my YouTube channel. I have a playlist on there from different calls here and there to give you a little bit more insight and a slower breakdown. So Data and Kiki is just technical analysis. It's what you see when you open up a chart. So the minute you go to your MetaTrader 4 or your Thinkorswim or your TradingView account, this is Data and Kiki. But you have to understand, you have to understand the concept of Data and Kiki. Every single market, options traded, indices, stocks, futures, golds, metals, whatever, it doesn't matter. Every single market is pretty much doing the same thing. It's more profitable when you're trading in a trending market, okay? So I'm gonna give you a simple overview real quick of Data and Kiki. So one term that I shared in my signals chat is called whipsaw. Remember, May, June, July, you're pretty much, you need to go take a vacation a lot of times with trading because it's really not a lot going on. But January through like April and then August, September, October, the markets are doing absolutely amazing most of the time. When you find yourself trading over a span of a couple of years, you'll begin to see the redundancy in the market. You'll see that after New Year's and once people go back to work and the buyers and the sellers and the institutional traders, they start going back to work, you start seeing a lot of transactions happen, which is where you get this type of movement, okay? But when the buyers and sellers are on vacation, just like the rest of the world, you're going to get this type of movement. guess what? Nobody is in the office. All right. You're not having, you still having, millions and millions of dollars that's being, positions that's being placed. But ultimately, there's a lot of communication happening anymore. All right. It's really, really slow. So for instance, I sent out Europe. Well, I ain't got to move. So for instance, if you guys was to count each one of these candles represent an hour. So if you was to really look at here from May 23rd to June 6th. So this is basically almost 14 days where the market is just sitting left to right. Does everybody see this? Yes or no in the chat box, right? So what happens is you can either be a person where you're just going to hold a trade like I just did for 3 weeks, or you're going to become a scalper. You have to modify your trading style because you're trying to catch some type of movement in the market. Now, if you want to catch bigger movements in a short amount of time, indices is always the game. But a lot of people fail at indices because if depending on their brokerage account, the broker will pay you out so much money, your account has to be able to handle that level of payout. Some brokers don't pay you out a crazy amounts of money for indices. They pay you out just the same as currency payers, right? So this is where people have to understand, understand more than just the simple basics of trading. They got to understand that it ain't always going to be come in, get the bag and go. Sometimes you got to sit and wait it out for a long time. And you're not literally waiting it, because once you put your money into the market, there's nothing else for you to do. All right. So just a quick overview of DAEDAEKEYKEY. Remember, this is a beautiful uptrend. What did this say? Okay, that's April. So when there's low volatility in the market, when there's not a lot of transactions going on, if you guys don't understand the behind the scenes of currency exchange, long story short, the banks are they're buying positions. They're buying these different currencies. Oh, this is not working. They're buying these different currencies. And we are too, as retail traders. We're saying, okay, I want 10,000 units. I want 1,000 units. I want 100 units, but we call them lot sizes, right? So you're buying a certain amount of units of something, and you're saying, okay, I predicted I want these amount of units. And you're also saying, okay, I believe that the price of these units are either going to increase and decrease. And of course, if you understand how to get paid out, you get paid price per pip, right? So for some reason, my computer is not changing this. I'm trying to do MetaMask. Okay, here we go. Let's go to your. So let me give you a quick overview and DAEDAEKEYKEY, and we'll go from there. So this is what I want to call, or I want to make sure you guys understand, is kind of like called whipsawing, where it's quick reversals in the market. It's choppy. The market is just moving up and down, right? There's still many little bitty trends in between, but you don't want to go for something that's just like kind of choppy. It's very unpredictable. If you're looking at this entire movement from left side to the right side, it's slightly going up here just a little bit, but ultimately it's very choppy. So if you wanted to come right here at the top and hold this position for a long term, you're not in the space right now in the slow season. The summer months are the slow season. You're not going to be able to hold positions and catch hundreds and hundreds of pips on on currency pairs right now, because everybody is on vacation. Okay. So this is so funny. It looks so weird to me because I'm so used to looking at my phone. So this is a beautiful downtrend, right? I'm sure we definitely probably caught this one. So this is in February this is March. All right. So this is March, and I'm going to give you guys a quick overview on DAEDAEKEYKEY. Okay. So here we go. So long story short, this is probably a Sunday. Markets open up, and then price gives you first consolidation. So with DAEDAEKEYKEY, consolidation is what I call date night. Okay. So if I come back here, wait, I'm jumping ahead. Let me come back. The consolidation is called date night, but I'm sorry. Let me come back here. So we have something called support first. Support is basically when you have two or more candles. Let me bring this down. Support is when you have two or more candles that are sitting on top of a support level. But if you just kind of look at it, if this line was not there, guys, you'll see that consistency where the thick part of the body maintains being on top of this invisible structure, if you will, right? So let me drag this right here at the edge of this, right here into these two candles. So 1, 2 candles, two or more, and notice that price is bouncing on top of this line. And when I'm talking about support, the first level of support I am talking about is the edge of the body. All right. Everybody drop body in the chat box. All right. Your body all over my body. All right. So body. Okay. So that's the first thing I'm talking about, is the base of the body. Okay. Now, the second level of support, what I usually talk about as well, is called the edge of the wicks, but I will get there in a second. So right now we're focused on body. I'll drop body in the chat box for me. Okay. So notice that this is the support level. And then for you guys, you know that the resistance is going to be on the top side. All right. But right now I want to focus on support. So you have support. Inside, between support and resistance is going to be what you call consolidation. All right. Consolidation just means the market is usually moving left to right. And it's in a box. All right. Do you all see this? Yes or no in the chat? Everybody see that box? It's about to be so simple. You're gonna probably be pissed when you learn that in Kiki. All right. Because that's all it's been. That's all it's ever been. All right. So y'all drop just let me know y'all with me. Drop support. Drop an S in the chat box for support. All right. Drop an S in the chat box for support. Okay. So we identify support. Okay. And remember, between support and resistance, you're usually going to have consolidation. So y'all drop some C's in the chat box for me for consolidation. All right. So inside this box is what an area of consolidation. This is the fast version of Data and Kiki. Then I'll bring it back around. You have consolidation. Now, notice that this last red candle, you guys see this last red candle right here? This last red candle is below the support level, okay? Whether you recognize in this support level or this one, I'm going to recognize the lowest point, and I'm going to let you guys know why I chose this particular level. Let me delete this out the way real quick. The reason I chose this level of support as a group support level, if you will, a group support level, is because these wicks keep dancing right up and down on top of this line. Okay. Now, maybe you want to use this level of support. You can do that. This learning is going to come from you back testing anyway, and you can begin to discern which level of support you want to identify. I'm just going to say that this is a collective area of support. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay. This is a collective area of support. And for right here, this candle right here is the body. When I'm talking about candles, guys, I'm referencing the body of the candle. Okay. You guys see how this body is below the red line? Yes or no? This body is below the red line. You guys see that? Truly be. Goodness, my mind. I gotta buy me a new mouse. All right, so cool. So let's bring it back. Support. This group, all these candles together is called consolidation. I call consolidation date night. All right. Date night. Anybody been on a date before? Bad date. Anybody been on a bad date before? We about to get into it. Anybody been on a bad date before? Yes or no? Or you know somebody that's been on a bad date? Oh, shout out to Webb. Congratulations. If you've been on a bad date or know somebody been on a bad date, tell me why the date went wrong. Drop it in the chat box. I need some of that information right quick so I can convey this metaphor to you guys. Tell me what went wrong on that date, right? I had a friend of mine tell me yesterday she met a guy and she only met him in passing. They met each other at a park and he came on he started groping her and all kinds of stuff. She's like, I don't know you. What are you doing? We're going to use that scenario. Disrespectful, right? So they didn't keep, no, I ain't going to use that. Breath. Ooh, Lord, not the breath. Your breath got to be on point. I'm going to tell you why breath is important, because that tells me if you go to the dentist or not. If you take care of your breath, hygiene. If you can't take care of your breath, I'm sure it's a ripple effect in your whole life. So here we go. Day is the red candle. Kiki is the green candle. Day is red. Kiki is green. Consolidation is date night. Day is the red candle. Day told Kiki her breath stank, TK. Okay. Day told Kiki her breath stank. Y'all drop stank in the chat box. I'm about to give it to you. This is so simple. So guess what? Kiki and her feelings, they a couple, by the way. Kiki and her feelings, because Day don't tell her breath stank. All right. So Day has to leave the house. All right. Does everybody see that red candle I was mentioning? Day has to leave the date. If y'all with me, drop some ones. If you lost in the sauce, drop some twos. Consolidation is date night. Day told Kiki her breath stank. Kiki told Day he gotta leave. That leaving candle is called the breakout candle. Okay, consolidation, breakout, date night, Day leave the house. Please let me know in the chat box. Y'all gotta communicate. 1 for yes, 2 for no. You with me? 1 for yes, 2 for no. You with me? 1 for yes, 2 for no. All right, cool. So date night, Day left the house because Kiki breath stank. All right, boom. So every time, now me personally, I look for entries on a 1 hour time frame. Okay. If you're not familiar with these terms, please go to my YouTube. It's a slower version. But on a 1 hour frame, I look for my entries. I don't care what asset I am trading. I am looking for an entry on a 1 hour frame. What word I can use? What brings my attention to that pair? I don't have favorite pairs, none of that, guys. I have a favorite confirmation formula that I follow. And if whatever pair it is, if I ride that pair for 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 days, it doesn't matter. I follow structure, not pairs. Okay. So boom, Day leaves the house. This is called a breakout candle. When the body of the candle closes below the support line, I am looking to potentially enter this trade. Okay. I have to confirm it on the daily and 4 hour as well. 1 hour gets my attention. Daily and 4 hour allows me to put the position in place. Okay. 1 hour gets my attention, but the daily and 4 hour, I have to confirm in addition. There we go. All right. So boom, Day leaves the house. His body is below. The thick part of the candle is below the red line. So now it has my attention. So when Day leaves the house, if you understand open and close of candles, what you will also see on the next candle is that this red candle started at the top, it closed at the bottom here. It shot all the way down. That's where the wicks come from, but then it closed here. All right. So the closing price, that was the final price for that particular for the pair at that time of day. Price, a new candle started to develop. Okay. A new candle starts to develop. And I'm getting ahead. Once the candle closes, guys, let me take it back. Once the candle closes, I have to make sure the 4 hour and the daily makes sense for me to press sell on this. Okay. So I'm going to leave that blue line there. I'm going to go up to the 4 hour frame. The daily frame. All right. And I'm going to look at history to see if I would like to sell. Okay. It's because when Day leaves the house, I am looking for a sale. Okay. So remember, all this hasn't happened yet. All we're focused on is this moment when Day told Kiki her breath stank. So based off of where that red level is, if I look left, okay, you have a lot of support. All right. Which technically this will be a bullish movement. All right. I probably would take this trade personally. I wouldn't send it as a signal. So, but I do have some movement just slightly below the pink line. So it shows me from here to here, you got a little movement. So from here to here, the distance is about 300 pips. So I have a potentially 300 pips that we still can catch based off of history. All right. So history shows me price has dropped below this line, but overall history, we see on the bullish side, the price will just kind of go back up. But if I'm looking to sell, I'm looking at sell history. All right. Sell history tells me that price still has about 300 more pips to move. All right. So boom, I go down to the daily frame. Let me go back to the daily as well. I'm gonna show y'all something. I got about 300 pips more movement potentially. When it comes to trading, you're asking yourself, what is the potential of this trade going in my favor? That's all trading is. So no matter if you're an indicator trader, a candle trader, whatever your technique, your strategy is, guys, at the end of the day, we're all asking the same question. Do I think this is going to be like a 50-50 win? Do I feel like it's going to be like more of an 80% probability, a 70% probability? You're gathering this information to determine the likelihood of the trade going in that way. All right. So it's no wrong. Somebody else can say, well, I think it's going to go up. That doesn't make them wrong because we're all just spectators, right? The key is you want to trade long enough to gather your history, to gather your probability. And that's why a lot of people can say, hey, D, I don't mind taking your trades because I've shown enough evidence in so many years of what I'm capable of doing. And I will own up to my mistakes, right? So the 4 hour is showing me now the 4 hour frame I'm looking for is the pair in a downtrend. All right. So based off of what I see here, yes, the pair is in a downtrend. So that's my second confirmation. So I'm liking it, but I also have to be mindful. Don't forget, it came here broken. We got a sale. All right. It came here and I got a sale. So I would call this more like a 60% chance of winning. I'm going to take it. That's the level of my risk tolerance. You have to determine your level of risk tolerance. You may say, man, that's too close. I don't like where it's at. I'm not going to take the trade. You have permission to do that. It doesn't make anybody wrong. We're all just speculating on these markets. Does that make sense? Yes or no? In the chat box, talk back to me. All right. So the 4 hours in the downtrend, for me, it's probably like going to win maybe like 60, 65%. I'm ready to take it because the trend is, oh, and then another factor. The trend is strong as all get out. The euro is weak because of the war. And I believe the Australian dollar is stronger than the euro at this present moment of time because of Ukraine and Russian war. I'm going to do it. If you're with me, drop a 1. If you're going to hold out, drop a 2. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? All right. If you're going to take the risk with me, drop a 1. If you're holding out, drop a 2. It's okay if you drop a 2 because it's about your risk tolerance. All right. So that's what people have to understand. Do not compare yourself to other traders. Just look and just think about what you can gather as a confirmation and bring it into your own toolbox. All right. So next thing I know, okay, I'm liking the daily frame. I'm liking the 4 hour frame. I have checked the news. The euro dollar is weak because of the European dollar is weak because of the war. And if you guys don't know this, if a pair is weak and it sits on the left side of the name, okay, if a pair, meaning the war is affecting the strength of this currency. If you go to Europe, the currency is weaker. So if the pair is on the left side of the name, I'm at the top left hand corner, by the way. If the pair is on the left side and is weaker, that means most likely the pair is going to go into a sale because it's weak. And that means the Australian dollar is going to gain more strength and it's going to be more dominant. And that means it's going to go into a sale. So if we'll just put it this way, if the right pair is stronger, it's selling. If the left pair is stronger, it's buying. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. If the left side is strong, it's a buy. If the right side is strong, it's a sale. Okay. If it's stronger than the other. All right. So if the left side is stronger, it's a buy. If the right side is stronger, it's a sale. It's that simple. So those are other little things you want to play. Keep in mind. So boom, I have confirmed. I love the daily. I love the date. I'm with it. So all I'm going to do is either do a sell. I'm not done. I'm going too fast. Okay. So we got date night. I'm going to move these little icons off here. Give y'all one more thing. There are 2 levels of support that I look at. And I'm going to tell y'all about the entry next after this. There's 2 levels of support. We already identified the first level of support, which is the neck of the body. All right. The second level of support is the base of these wicks. Now, somebody is like, well, B, it's 20,000 wicks right there. Which wick do I choose? That is why you got to go do your homework and you got to go back in time and you got to start doing a comparison and begin to identify where the market would go back and touch these wicks. And I'll make that make sense in a second. For me, I'm looking for the common denominator. I'm looking for the wick. I'm looking for a level that has the most amount of communication. So that this, did the market cross this level a lot of times? Yes, it did. All right. Did the market come down here a lot of times? Barely. Did the market come here a lot of times? Just short of it, just a little bit. So I'm going to go between these 2 levels here or this level. All right. So preferably it's always going to be the lowest point because you'll find out that the market sometimes doesn't come back here and retest. It'll come back to the base of the wick. All right. So I'm going to go with probably like this, like medium, this, let me see, this one touch. So this one, I'm choosing this one because look at all the lines didn't cross this one, but all the lines crossed this one. All right. Now I can use these. It's no wrong. Ultimately, between the neck and the wick. And if you want to come all the way down here, you can. You're not wrong. Okay. It's going to come from placing trades and placing positions for you to start making adjustments. All right. So from here to here, this is what I now call your entry zone. Okay. So let's hide the future right quick. Let's bring this all back. All right. Date night, day they left the house, meaning the hour the candle has closed at the end of the hour. Okay. When day leaves the house, this candle has to be finished developing on a 1 hour frame. So if it's 8:59, I'm waiting to 9 a.m. for this candle to let me know if it's going to stay below or above this peak. That's that first level of support. Okay. Once I see that it's 9 after 9 or 10 a.m., whatever, it doesn't matter what hour, by the way. Once I see that the candle has closed at the top of that hour, I'm going to go to the daily to confirm history and the trend. I'm going to the 4 hour to confirm the trend. All right. And then after that point, once I love what I see, it's just now time to place the trade. There's nothing else to do. So now I have to decide, where do I want to get into this trade? Now I have to decide where I want to get into this trade. All right. So candle closes. I know where my entry zone is because my entry zone is between the neck and the wick. All right. Are y'all with me? 1 for yes, 2 for no. The entry zone is between the neck and the wick. And that entry zone is going to be for the future. All right. We don't know the future yet. Okay. Matter of fact, this is all I got. Okay. All I know is in the future, I'm getting inside this box in the future. So all I'm going to do next is, let's say, boom, the market opens up. Guys, when I am on the market, I'm doing sell right before this market begins to sell. Okay. I'm pressing a sell execution, because my entry is between what? The neck of the body and the edge of the wick. So the market opened here. Come on, cat mouse. Open, closed, and it came all the way down and closed here. And then the next thing you know, let me zoom in for you guys. The market opened here, and it's at my favorite. This is the, let me put it this way. It's the best entry. The closer I can get to the neck of the body entry, the happier I am, because it opens up for more profit and less drawdown. So Day comes back. This is what y'all need to know. Day leaves the house on this candle. He comes back. He rings the doorbell, which is the neck of the body. Baby, I'm sorry. Please ring, 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 ring. When he ringing that door, when he's knocking on the door, ladies and gentlemen, that is my entry. Okay. You can do a sell limit, or you can just execute that thing. I'm more of an execution trader, because I have realized I am more profitable and I'm always in the trade when I execute. If you do limits, you're kind of hoping that those retests happen where you want it to happen. Okay. So boom, I do a sell execution, Day ringing on the door, and the market don't move super fast like that all the time. All right. Now when I'm setting signals, it's a little challenging because I have to type out the numbers, and I'm racing against price going into profit. I'm like, Lord, please let me hurry up and type these numbers out before Day leaves the house. All right. So boom, he's ringing the doorbell, and guess what? He takes off. And if I was able to catch a sniper entry, that trade alone is already up like 20 something pips. Boom. Clear 20 pips. Depending on your account size, you're done for the day. You don't do all that. All right. So boom. Clear the bag. Now, for my people who are looking for this is what I call a sniper entry, because people don't understand open and close. Every single candle that has a wick on it used to be the opposite color. That's a training for another day. But this price day that came up, he started off as a green candle first, and then he turned red because it turned into a sell. Left the house, knocked on the door, and left. All right. Now, let's pretend we came on the market, and this is all the structure we had. This is even beautiful to me as well, because I know the candle broke out. The candle retested on a sniper entry. And we're looking for Day to come back again and give us an apology. All right. So most people are looking for the obvious retest. They're looking so much at color, they're not realizing we should be trading structure and not color. When I say structure, I'm meaning it doesn't matter the color of the candle, because they were all once the opposite color at one point. Okay. If a green candle got a wick on the bottom, it used to be red. If a red candle has a wick on the top, it used to be green. We're trading structure, not color. All right. So price breaks out, Day leaves the house. And in the future, I'm expecting Day, as he broke out like this. All right. He broke out like right here. Hold on, let me do this. In the future, I'm expecting Day to leave, knock, and then leave. Okay, that's all the markets do. Somebody gonna break out, somebody gonna retest it, somebody gonna leave. All right. The apology is where the entry is. So when he comes back and knock on the door or ring the doorbell, by the way, the neck of the body is the door, is what I call the door. Okay, the neck of the body is the door, and the edge of the wick is the doorbell. Okay, so I have been more profitable at the entries of a doorbell, but I don't necessarily focus on the bell or the door, if per se. I just focus on being inside that zone. Okay, does that make sense, guys? I just need them inside the zone, just like I don't know, like a sniper or something. I just need you to enter inside a certain area. All right, and we're gonna call it a day. And neck of the body is the door, neck of the wick is the bell. All right, edge of the wick is the bell. So boom, but I remember, I'm only really focused on is they gonna come inside my gray area in the future when he comes back. So he leaves the house. All right, so let me slow down. Date night. Okay, Day leaves the house. I just told y'all when Day leaves the house, he has to come back and apologize. So which direction does he need to go to come back and have an apology to Kiki? Tell me that in the chat box. He left the house. All right. All right, we got up. Did everybody else agree? They left the house. He went down, but he got to come back and apologize to Kiki for telling her breath smell like hog maw and pig feet. So which direction? That's right. You have to get in the mindset of knowing this. If you just remember this analogy and spend enough time on the markets every single day, it's going to be such a no-brainer to you. You're like, bro, this is all trading has been. Trading is so easy. The teaching part I don't even care about. It's the emotional intelligence and money management that I feel like people need to know more over than this, because you can make money, but can you manage the money, right? So boom, Dada leaves the house. So everybody just told me that Dada is going to come back up to the gray zone because he has to apologize to Kiki. Remember, the zone is between the neck of the body and the edge of the wick. I don't care if she hit the wick or hit the floor mat or breathe on the little thing that knocks on the door. I don't care, as long as he's inside this area. If you ever watch, I don't want to use this analogy, but if you ever watch assassination movies, they got a small window, right? As long as that ain't come in that window, I am taking that trade, okay? So what you got to do next is either you're placing a sell limit or you're just going to execute if you just happen to be on the chart when data is inside in the entry zone, all right? So next, you're going to do a sell limit at the edge of the wick. That's it. And you can do two. If you got the count down, do a sell limit at the edge of the wick, a sell limit at the edge of the body, or just wait for the position to get there, set you an alert, and then just execute the trade so you can guarantee you don't miss the bag. I'm gonna say it again. Day has left the house. Y'all just told me he's supposed to come back and apologize. The apology is the entry, aka retest. The apology is the entry, aka retest. All right. Date night, somebody leave the house. Somebody gonna knock on the door or ring the doorbell. All right, knock on the door or ring the bell. That is your entry. Y'all with me? Yes or no? Let me know. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let me take. Okay, I'll edit that later. Okay, good deal. So next, we'll do a sell limit or sell execution. Don't matter. Just get inside the zone and let's see what happens in the future. Remember, this little white drawing I drew out is Day had a breakout candle. Day has to come back. So when I pull the screen over, we're looking for this movement. All right. This movement right here. Okay. The market moves in ends and lightning bolts. So boom, I'm looking for, because remember, once you press the sell limit, you don't have to do nothing. Remember, you already know what Day is about to do. Press the sell limit, shut your phone off and go about your day. Y'all with me? Sell limit. Something got to go up, then come down. Let's check it out. Boom. Let me pause. Does everybody see what happened? Open. Count. Day started here. Shot down. Day came here. Shot all the way up first. All right. I'm sorry. Open. So it's open. Shot all the way up first. Man, I'm having a brain fart. Open, close. Open, close. All right. Start at the bottom. Start at the bottom first. Turn red. All right, then shot back up. All right, I'll talk about open and close another time. Started at the bottom right here, turned red. So he went down the street for a little bit, called his homeboy, like, man, I done made Kiki mad. You know, she had her feelings because I told her breath stank. I was just kidding. She just had some onions and she just smelled bad for a little bit, you know. So this is the conversation right now. I need to use another icon. Daddy came here and left. He continued to leave. And right there when he's leaving, he's calling his homeboy. Yeah, man, her breath stank. I'm gonna go up the street and get some Trident and I'm gonna come back and apologize. So he leaves to go get some extra, some Trident, some peppermints, and then he comes back up. And what does he do? Somebody tell me in the chat box, when he comes right here, what is he doing? Right here. Right here. When he come back, what is he doing? That's right. He's back in the cell zone. If you tell him my story, that's right. He's ringing the doorbell. Whether you did a cell limit or you execute, when you hit if he's between the door and the doorbell, we are doing what? Somebody tell me. That's right. We're going to execute that thing. Ultimately, we're going to press sell. We're going to get in the bag. Now, if you execute right here, you also have to know how to count pips. Why? Because just in case Dede does knock on the door out of desperation, you have to be prepared for what we call a little bit of a drawdown. All right. Your what word am I looking for? Your guaranteed entry is always going to be at the doorbell. Okay. And just in case he just got to be in his begging mode, he maybe brought some flowers. He's knocking, hey, Kiki. Now he's here at the doorbell. So that this is from this level to this level, it's about 11 pips. So 11 pips shouldn't phase you if you didn't over leverage your account. Okay. Right here is 11 pip drawdown if you got it at the doorbell. Why is this not? I'm sorry, y'all. I got to get a new mouse. I've been teaching with this mouse for 4 years. Okay, boom. So right here, the distance between this arrow and these two arrows is about a 10 pip drawdown. Okay, 10, 11 pip drawdown. So if you are honoring your account, I tell people all the time, don't risk no more than 0.5% of your account. Or up to 3%. All right. And if you are honoring your risk management, the drawdown shouldn't even make you budge. It shouldn't even make you look at your phone, because the three things you always need to ask yourself before you place a trade is, what is when you look at your account balance, my rules are different. Your risk tolerance and you may want to risk more money. I'm done with all that. All right. So, like for me, I have some different proprietary trading firms that I'm partnered with, and my risk management is no more than 0.25 to 0.5%. It's less than 1%. So if I'm placing those trades, or sometimes in my other account, I might do 2 to 3%. All right, but my preference is no more than 2%. Okay. So anyway, when you look at your balance, the three questions you want to ask yourself is, what am I willing to lose today? Okay. Everybody is so focused on making money and they don't understand the first rule. As a professional, we always ask, what am I willing to lose? What is my risk tolerance? What can I tolerate? All right. So if you got $1,000 account, are you willing to lose $100, which is very, very stupid to me? All right. If you got $1,000, guys, you need to shut that thing down. All right. You got 10 grand, 100K, 500K. I don't care how much money you have. Keep the risk tight, because it's not necessary. Once you understand the risk to reward formula, it changes the whole game. All right. But let me keep it simple. The difference between this line and that line is about a 10 to 11 pip drawdown. So if you got, let's just keep the math really basic. You got a $100 account and you put $1 into this position. You're going to be negative $10 to $12 off rip just because of the drawdown. Okay. Now, if you got $100, you should be investing no more than 10 cents per position anyway. So now you're really only negative $1 to $2. I mean, $1 and $1.50. If your account is negative $1.50, y'all ain't worried about that. But when it started hitting negative 20, you start sweating a little bit because you have over leveraged the account. Okay. On a $100 portfolio, that's too much. Okay. It's actually laughable. People always want to trade, but you need to have capital to trade. So it makes sense. So this is the deal. Now you're in a drawdown, but maybe you got another entry right here at the top. So now you press, y'all give me about 15 more minutes. Now you got another entry here. So this one's probably in a drawdown. And they're only going to go in a drawdown if DAEDAE comes back and knock on the door. I would actually do a sell execution or a limit dead at the door because that's the highest point of entry. All right, so let's see what happens next. So if he comes back and apologizes inside of our zone, then we have secured this movement right here, okay? We have secured this move, all right? Come on, mouse. Let me just use this. All right, this was the move we was looking for. This was the apology, okay? Now, after the apology, what did I say happens next? You got the leave, you got the knock, and then you got what? Does anybody remember the next word? What happens if Kiki ain't finna let him in the house? Now, mind you, if you did a entry at the wick, your trade is activated right now. Okay. If you did an entry, we already had the breakout. The breakout was here. This is date night. Breakout is here. They left the house. They came back to apologize. So if you're expecting to make money on this trade, what should the next candle or what should happen in the future? Remember the analogy, guys. Date night, they left the house. You want to apologize. That's right. Go back down to the downside. It's just a sale. The word is sale. Leave, knock, leave. Right? If you don't remember nothing else tonight, leaves the house, knocks on the door, and the knock and the bell is the entry, and it's going to leave. When you have your trade as activated, you shouldn't be doing nothing else but allowing the market to come to you. Somebody drop in the chat box, come to me. That is what I love about how I trade. I don't be on this stuff all day. If you follow me, we're not on looking at no markets. We sit at the pool, traveling, hitting flights. Come to me, okay? Come to me. So once you have put in your mind that you know that ain't finna knock on that door, guys, you need to go ahead and place your entry setup. Whether you're doing a limit or execution, when you see you have confirmed everything and you are inside your entry zone, place the freaking trade. And that's it. Set your parameters and go about your day. So let's see what happens next. Now, if you did a limit or execution, you're in the trade right now on the wick entry. Let's see what happens next. You got a second wick entry. Then they came again and knocked on that doorbell. Yeah, everybody see it? Okay. Boom. All right. So, but this is so beautiful because you already secured 20 pips off the first entry. He came here open at the bottom, closed at the top, open right here. This candle started off green, open on the top. Then it came up again. Ring, ring, Kiki. Kiki, baby girl, I'm so sorry. Bring your stank breath to the door. He's still being mad. He's still being petty. So right here, does everybody see this skinny wick that just tapped dead on the doorbell again? Y'all see it? Yes or no in the chat box? Because I got to show y'all this whole pattern all the way down. That's key. I'm going to show y'all all the entries on the whole entire trade, on the whole pair. Okay? I can't get this thing to open up. You guys see this? Yes or no? I need to know if you see it so I can move on to the next one. Okay, well, that's not letting me be great today. Y'all see this wick? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, good deal. So boom. There it comes and knocks on, when he rings the doorbell, ringing the doorbell, about to break the electricity on the thing. Rings the doorbell, Kiki ain't paying him no attention. So what happens right away is he turns around and he leaves, the candle turns red, and then it comes all the way down here to 56.86. Your entry is at 55.09. You have secured the 20 pips off of your first candle. Okay. Leave, knock, or ring, 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 leave. Okay, let's see what happens next. Oh, I'm sorry, my mouse. All right, date night, they left the house. Ring, ring, leave. Did he hit the doorbell again? Yes or no in the chat? One for yes, two for no. Did he hit the doorbell again? One for yes, two for no. Now me, that's 3 entries off this one pair. I got the sniper entry and I got the 2 other retests. Okay, that's 2 entries. That's 3 entries for me personally. All right. So boom. Or yeah, I'm placing more trades. So boom, boom. Let's see what happens next. Did it drop some more? So everybody in the bag, if you would have just did a sell execution or a sell limit, your trade is in the bag. But I need y'all to look at one key thing. Did Day ever come to the door? Yes or no in the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Did he ever reach the doorknob? We see he hit the doorbell, but did he hit the doorknob? Precisely. So that's why you want to kind of start conditioning your mind to focus more on the bell entries, but at the same time, understand that entire entry, that entire space is just your entry zone. Okay. So many people get so focused on, I just want him to come right here. Like, bro, don't focus just on one single area. Focus one single price point. Focus on a zone. Doesn't make sense, guys. Because if you too obsessed with just this one little line, you're gonna miss the whole trade. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunities happen right here. All right. Yeah, the door was the sniper entry, but most people don't catch this entry. All right. Most people are looking for this type of move. The kind of obvious that the candle turned green. Most people don't catch the sniper entry. Most people catch this one. All right. So if you catch a sniper, great, but you just got to start. That comes with over time, just knowing that that kind of broke out. I confirmed it on a daily. I confirmed it on a 4-hour. I'm just going to go ahead and execute a sale, because a lot of times when you execute a sale right here, this candle is going to be green. All right. I got so much proof inside of DAEDAEKEYKEY Signal Shack. I'll show before and afters. I'll take pictures of before. The candle be a strong green candle, and I'm telling them to sell. All right. And sorry to anybody that probably hit me up and say, hey, B, why did you first sell the candle green? I can't respond to that because we ain't here for that. All right. Just look at it and it's going to happen. So it's structure. All right. Yeah. You trade right after the date. After you confirm the date, though, you have to confirm the date. Remember, the 1 hour is an indication that this is a potential entry. Once I see the daily and 4-hour touch and agree with the 1 hour, yes, I'm executing right after the date is over with, which is consolidation. Breakout. Remember, the candle has to break out, though. Okay. So, but check this out. I'm going to delete everything on this screen. All right. And I'm going to leave this line right here as an indication. Where's my? Okay. This line was our entry. Y'all with me?
Could you get me in? Could you get me in?
All right. I hear Daddy on the phone. Daddy breast thinks something over there. Okay. So check this out. This was our entry. We made money. Somebody dropped some money signs or some bad. Oh, the trade still dropped. We made some money. All right. Does everybody see it? This trade, that position is gone, long gone. We made money. We ain't thinking about it no more. Okay. But I want to show y'all something else. Okay. This is how we were smashing the markets in March and April because of all that volatility. Guess what this is right here? This is another setup for what? When Day is retesting, he's creating consolidation. Oh, when Day is retesting, he's creating another date night. Good Lord. Can't be that easy, y'all. Look at it. Support. All right. Date night. Day left the house. All the confirmations are already in place. You just got to get prepared for the entry. Date night, we made the sale is also the breakout. I don't want to confuse about it, but I hope y'all staying with me. We made money already, so don't think about this no more. We already did that. Been there, done that. This is all the structure we had. We made money. We're celebrating. But as we get back on the chart, we're like, wait a minute. We get back on the chart. We're like, wait a minute. Another date night. Day already broke out. We made the money. Can Day potentially do? What is the analogy, y'all? You got the date, you got the breakout. What are you looking for next? What's your entries at? That's right, wick to body. So what are you doing right now? If we already confirmed the daily and 4-hour, I don't have to do that again. So what are you doing? Market execution where? Can y'all see the chart? Market execution where? Whatever word you want to use, it we're gonna enter the trade. All right. So what I tell y'all, date night, leave What has to happen next? He left for a while on this one. Leave. All right, what has to happen next? It's just 3 words. Right, we've already established that, but what happens after you have established that? You got a date night, counter close, confirmed on the 1 hour. They'd already left the house. What happens after Day leaves the house? He's left because he told her breath stank. What does he have to do after he told her breath stank? Come back and do what? In the analogy, in the story, he has to come back and do what to Kiki? Apologize, right? AKA the retest, AKA the entry. All right, the apology is the entry. Do not forget that. So if that's the entry, if he has to apologize, what area on this chart is the apology taking place? Come on, BBURRELL. Woo! What area on the chart is the apology taking place? Yeah, that's right, Jones. That's right, Will. So that's it. We do a limit or we do execution. If you only execute when the market is there, so you can't execute until the market is at the doorbell door area, right? So let's see what happens. Price never came back up. So check this out. If you knew it here, you caught the sniper. You had one opportunity here. But let me show y'all something. I'm about to leave all this off. Whew, Lord have mercy. Please stay with me, y'all. Okay, we done. Date night. All right, we'll move this out the way. Goodness gracious. Date night. Day they left the house. Entry. All right. Entry right here at the top of these, at the edge of these wicks. Entry. Date night. Day they left the house. This was a sniper entry. So this one came right back to the door. Entry number 2. All right. Let me zoom in. Let me highlight the date for you. Date night. Candle broke out. Day they left. Not ring, ring, ring. That's your entry. Date night. Day they left the house. Sniper dead on the door. Okay. That's your entry. All right. Kept going, went on home. Date night. Whew. Come on, BBURRELL. Date night. This is what I wish y'all could follow me when I'm sending signals, because I'd be so like, oh, it didn't retest. And a lot of times I can place positions, but I can't type them because it'll take off like this. And there's no time to type it. It's gone, right? Date night. Day they left the house. Please tell me y'all see this. Support right here. This candle broke out. What is he doing? Ring. Doorbell. I mean, doorbell, door. And then what? Took off. Entry. Another date night. I ain't doing nothing special. I promise y'all. Date night. Breakout candle. Price got to come back and do what? Let's bring this up a little so I can see it. Support right here. Okay. Day leaves the house. Comes back up. Kiki, your breath stank. Kiki, your breath stank. All right. Doorbell entry and door entry. So this one actually hit both levels. All right. I'm going to tell y'all something. The door and doorbell is your entry level, is your entry price. Jesus, this is too easy. The door and doorbell is your entry price. Stop trying to figure out what should I enter the trade. If you're executing, the market is just going to give you the entry price. If you're doing limits, the entry price is the door or doorbell. All right. Another date night. This is why it's so much easier to trade during trending markets. Right now, we don't have these beautiful drops and uptrends right now because everybody's what? On vacation. And remember, when you do tell yourself you want to get in at these levels, don't forget there's going to be a potential drawdown. I do it between most of my stop losses are 20 pips. All right. If the market's a stupid volatile or slow, I'll do 30. Okay. So that's another entry. Date night. Right here. I mean, back to back to back. Date night, price broke out right. This is the support level right here. If you look to the left, this candle is below this invisible line of support. Okay. Boom. Day they left the house. What it do? Boom. You got a sniper entry right on the door. Whoo! Right on the door, y'all. Day they left the house. Sniper execution in the bag. Gone. These kinds of piss me off because I can't get my subscribers in there. All right. I'm grateful, but man, I want them to get in that trade. Okay. So do y'all see it? Like, this is so simple. And depending on your level of emotional intelligence and your emotional attachment to the market, you're going to mess yourself up, because what happens is people are looking for all those opportunities. So now let's come back to where we are today. Let's come back to May. Okay. So this was like February, March. All that was happening in February, March, all those opportunities. Look, that whole trend, that whole drop was a trade. Then you got the uptrend and you got the downtrend again. And so now we start going into like towards the end of April, May. Oh, it's going to start trending less. So as you post, you catching, a couple of hundred pips a day. Now you're catching 20 pips in 2-3 days because it's moving so slow. All right. This is what we have now. Do y'all see the difference in that beautiful sale versus this structure? Yes or no? There are movements in here, but those movements are going to be more fewer in length. And you just gotta kind of hop in and out. Like we went the week before last, I went 3-0 in the group. Usually trades like that, we're holding for 100 to 200 pips. So the reward can be 10 times what I for those who know how to trail. But we can't catch no long movements no more because price is doing this dumb type of stuff, right? Let me not call it dumb. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Now, if you go back and look at a lot of different pairs, you're going to see this same choppiness, which is called a whipsaw. All right, whipsaw. Okay, so that's how it goes. All the pairs are doing it. You got to go back and look at history. Okay, all the pairs are doing that. Minimize this. Anything before May. I mean, you can kind of just look at it, see that the trend is, once you see the trend, it's there. All right. Break and retest, break and retest, break and retest, break and retest. This is I just can't tell it enough. This is the Kiki side. Resistance. All right. So on the Kiki side, you have to look in reverse. All right. So price is going up. So date night is here now. And you're looking for day to knock on the door. What is all this? Ooh. You're looking for day to knock on the door or ring the doorbell on an uptrend. Okay. So date night, this is your resistance. Sorry, let me move all this off. Resistance here at the neck of the body. And then I got my edge on my wick. Kiki, this is the date night below it. Date night. Kiki leaves the house and does right. She tests right on top of the edge of this wick. Whether you did this wick or that wick. All right. But I would do this wick. Let me tell you why. Let me just draw it up. Your date night, smaller area of consolidation. Y'all see this? Okay. Date night, Kiki left the house. Y'all see Kiki leaving now? Yes or no? Kiki leaves the house. It doesn't change. Leave. Come on. Leave. Knock or ring the doorbell and leave. Okay. But the knocking of the bell, the ring of the bell, and the leave happen in the same candle. This is the sniper entry. So Kiki, date night, Kiki leave the house. Now day breath stink. Kiki comes back and rings the doorbell. This mic smack down on the money. All right, I'm gonna put it right here at the edge of this wick. The reason I chose this wick because the breakout candle is up here. So I'm looking for price to come below the candle. Okay. So boom, she came right on top of, let me get this right precision. Boom. Look, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Left the house, smacked down on the wick, took off. All right, now you caught this move, it's over with. Okay. Resistance. I got this resistance zone. This is the wick that left. Kiki came right on top of the door and doorbell, took off again. You see this, yes or no? So I can end this class. And if you just happen to miss it, it had randomly had a wick still hanging around. Guess what? She came all the way back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 12 hours later, but smacked down on it. And guess what? She gone. All right. So again, resistance, wick. Kiki left the house, then what she do? Ooh! Y'all can tell me this stuff ain't easy. It's not a strategy, it's the market. It's It's just the market. Technical analysis is all this is. All right. And that's what people have to understand. Trading is so simple. And I'm sorry that people lied to us and told us that is way harder than that. The most complicated part is people's level of consistency, doing your homework, back testing, and literally just staying in that space. All right. Yes, 1 hour is my entry confirmation. You can go to 15. All the other stuff you guys have to remember. If you want to go to lower frames, make sure it works for you. 1 hour works for me because that's where I made most of my money. You can go to a 15-minute, you can go to 5 minute, whatever you want to do, but it has to make sense. Remember, when you're looking at trading markets, it's just like looking at looking under a microscope. If you're looking at the Earth, if you're at the satellite, if you're at the moon, the Earth looks small. If you're at airplane level, the Earth starts to get, the Earth is huge, right? If you're on street level, you're sitting dead on it. You don't want to squeeze so much in on the data that it starts looking, it's not consistent. You can make money whichever level you want. I just tell you what works for me. All right. So 1 hour, but ultimately you gotta do this stuff every single day. Guys, I'm looking at these charts every single day since 2017. It's so a part of my subconscious mind. All right. You got to look at it. You can't get all sad when you have a loss or you didn't get it right. And for me, I stayed in my demo account for a minimum of 6 months straight. All right. I didn't care about making money. I was like, I can't make money if I don't know what I'm doing. So most people are obsessed with making money. If you can detach yourself away from the money part, the money will come. And that's what I can't teach you. If you can say, bump making money, I'm going to stay in my demo for a year. I'm going to stay in my demo for 6 months. People go to college for 4 years for money, for investment management before they even can touch a live market, unless they're doing it on the side. So can you give yourself 12 to 18 months of consistent demo trading? That doesn't mean it's going to take 12 to 18 months because somebody I didn't really necessarily learn that in Kiki. I was kind of looking at so many different things, but when I figured out how to trade, I'm like, this is all I had to do in the first place. So now when I'm teaching people, I can get them right to the point instead of jumping people from left to right. All right. So, but you find out what works for you, what frames you can test different frames and stuff like that. But what has worked for me and what has allowed me to teach other people and help them to be profitable is this frame. You won't always find setups in the markets. Again, last week, I didn't find any high probability setups. Okay. DAEDAEKEYKEY is everywhere. You're going to see it in the middle of choppy markets, but it doesn't necessarily mean you need to take the trade. All right. So you also have to be smart and know when not to trade and not feel obligated to trade just because the markets are open. Okay. So whatever you guys are studying with, whether the platforms, I'm not with any platforms. I'm not with any companies. I'm my own company. So you guys have to understand whoever you're learning through and whatever you're finding, stay to it and be consistent on it. Otherwise, you're going to spend 10 years jumping from market to structure, strategy, and not really mastering something. Don't be what they say. Don't be a master of none. Okay. But find what works. And ultimately, when you figure out how to enter the trades, that ain't the biggest lesson. The biggest lesson is money management and understanding risk to reward. I can't stress that enough. Risk to reward and understanding risk management is the biggest class after you understand entries. The entry part, I can care less about teaching people entries. I'd rather teach you risk management and risk to reward first. Okay. So let's get to bed. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will upload this to YouTube. My YouTube is my name, BBURRELL Music. And you guys will see some playlists that say DAEDAEKEYKEY Signals playlist and DAEDAEKEYKEY Academy playlist. But I thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. If you got some value, drop some ones in the chat box. If you got some value, or whatever you want to drop, emojis, ones, fires, flames. If you got some value tonight, drop it in the chat box. I will see you guys next Tuesday. And I will drop the playback on the YouTube link and in the DAEDAEKEYKEY Telegram chat. Okay. I'm from Atlanta, shouted. ATL. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed night. I try to tone down the Atlanta talk because it, come out real bad. Oh, Albany, Georgia in the house. Let's go. Glad to have you.